Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support on my very first update video, the likes, the comments. It was a little bit heartwarming. Like I said, it was the first time I've ever tried something that different on the channel, and the response has been really great, and it's something that I really want to work at and get better at, just even talking to the camera, because this is so much different without having a script and knowing what I'm going to say and how I'm going to set everything up. So it's a big change for me. I only hope to get better at it, but your support has been great, so thank you so much. And look, one very quick update. I'm working on 3 videos at the moment, so no video updates right now. But Dan, I mentioned him in the first video around the website and posting articles, but Dan's posted up his most recent article. Again, I call it the Versus series. It's Gears of War up against EatLed. So one very popular franchise up against a lesser known franchise, but EatLed looks like it's got some really compelling reasons to give it a try. I haven't played either of those games, but Dan obviously has, so I'd direct any comments you have about it to him. Like I said, I'm working on 3 videos myself, and then I usually take a bit of a breather. So just a forewarning, sometime after March I'll probably take a month or 2 off just to work on scripts and work on a few other things around the channel that I'm really hoping to talk about in a couple of the next update videos, because I did mention the website and the idea of branching out and creating different kinds of content for the website. I really want to knuckle down and focus on something that there's definitely a few projects there that I want to try, and look, I'll pitch them to you in the next update video hopefully, or the next one after that, and just maybe get a better idea of the direction to steer these different projects in. But I definitely want to, I love doing these reviews and I'm not going to stop, but I do want to just attempt a few different things as well and just test the water with them. And that comes back to one of the videos I'm filming, and I'll mention it again a little bit later because I recorded the end before I recorded the beginning for this update video. But I did see a comment from 16-Bit Brit talking about how he would like to have a website one day, and he thought it was a cool idea. And you know, I was talking about taking control, sort of, or taking as much control as you can over your content, and I call it giving your content a home. So it doesn't have to be a website. If you're submitting your show to another sort of website like the Punk Effect or Gamester81, you can definitely, you know, sort of use that as like your base, I guess I'd call it. You know, don't just submit a video, add like a few paragraphs of story. Like on my website I try and add a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. I try and add anything that I might have missed in the review, or I thought it was a bit too boring to talk about, or comparisons, or like even spiritual sequels if people are that interested in the game that they want to find out a bit more. I'll mention that sort of stuff on the articles on the website, and that's stuff that you can do whether you're posting to Screw Attack or any other sort of user submissions like RetroWare TV. So I do really recommend just trying to, you know, whatever you're doing, creating video, just be aware that you have this option to give a little bit more, and hopefully people will respond to that as well as the video. And there's a channel, Rerez, that actually, if you type in rerez. I think it's .net, but it might be a .com. If you type in that web address, it'll take you to the Rerez YouTube channel, because that is his home for his content, and that's what he really pushes. So that's a great example of someone using YouTube, solely YouTube, as their sort of place where they put all their content. And yeah, before I get on with the next segment for this update video, I thought I'd just give a really, I had a amazing shout out the other day from Gamester81. Mentioned me in his, you know, 10 reviewers to check out, and you know, that was like seriously amazing. I'll put up my subscriber data here because I'm not shy about sharing some of this stuff, but you can probably see I average between like 1 and 5 subscribers a day, which you know, I'm happy with. But you can see here that when John mentions the show in his update video, it is just like a real big spike compared to what I'm used to. it always sort of amazes me how much influence these bigger channels can have and how much impact like a mention can have on my channel. So super appreciated. It was really unexpected, and I'm really glad that Cygnus Destroyer got a mention. And I went in the comments and I mentioned a few channels that I always enjoy watching, Game Deficiency and Game Dave. So I do love YouTube for that collaborative and the ability to shout people out and talk about other channels and trying to build that community. Like, YouTube's really good for that sort of stuff. So I saw this comment, must have been a couple of months ago now, on one of my mates' videos, just through Facebook. Matt Ezro, the Cygnus Destroyer, posted, just linked to one of his videos through Facebook, and someone commented, and that comment really started to get me thinking. It was just, Matt was saying, check out my new review, follow the link, check out the video here. Someone commented back and said, don't call it a review. You're better than that, or something to that effect. And that sort of really, that kind of comment really sort of struck me and got me thinking. Is sort of is the internet review, is the amateur retro video game reviewer, is it a dying breed? Is it just something that there's just so much of on the internet? The ones that are succeeding, is it more about the character? I said in the last review that last update video that I really wanted to make entertaining content. It wasn't about setting out to specifically just do reviews. I wanted to make great content. I thought reviews would be a great way to do it because it would let me really focus on something. I guess it's a bit different for Matt. As far as I understand it, he set out to defend LJN games, especially in the wake of the Angry Video Game Nerd and his videos. So, yeah, man, is that something that you can confirm?
Yeah, that's pretty much become a big part of my angle now, but back when I started, it was with the Cygnus Destroyer retro reviews. LJN Defender came in a year later, but back then it was just, well, mainly I wanted to talk about obscure games that very few people, if anyone, was talking about. But more so than anything, the reason that I started on YouTube, the reason I started doing my videos was because it made me feel good. I mean, it just, like I've said before in my other videos, I was at a pretty bad place in my life that before I started YouTube. Not like suicidal, not like seriously depressed or anything, but I was in a pretty deep funk, and I was kind of aimless in life, didn't know what I wanted to do. I needed some direction, and this really helped me find what I wanted to do. And I'm thankful every day that I decided to do the whole YouTube thing. It's these past couple years now have been the best in my whole life up to date. So yeah, sorry if I got a little serious with that, but long and short of it, yeah, nowadays it's very much, I guess it was always there, like, in a way, because like the Xena review, I mean, I enjoyed that game, and I don't think many people really enjoyed that game. And same thing for like Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue for Nintendo 64. That game, it's quirky, and probably a lot of people think it's bad, but so I guess the seeds of LJN Defender were there right from the beginning. But yeah, when I started out, it was all about just talking about obscure games that very few people were talking about. I was like, these guys were talking about all this other stuff like Mega Man and all that. Like, I just can't really add anything new to that. Well, I probably could, but I mean, I didn't really want to add anything new to the Mega Man discussion. So I was like, I'll talk about this game, like Totally Rad or something like that. I figured that'd be much more fun. So that's what I decided to do.
So, what would you call yourself? Would you call yourself like a internet personality, sort of in the same vein as the Angry Video Game Nerd James Rolfe, or like Pat the NES Punk? Personally, for me, and I'm pretty sure from what I've heard and read about them, the video game reviews are a way for them to make content. It's always been about sort of the filmmaking, the scripting. Pat, on his Patreon page is talking about doing like a TV show with Frank, and that's sort of like his end goal is to do a TV show. And I thought that was really interesting, and it got me thinking that it's not so much about the reviews, it's more about the reviewer. What would you call yourself? Are you a video game reviewer? Are you an internet personality? Or are you something in between?
Yeah, I'd probably say somewhere in between. Because I mean, yes, I definitely am a game reviewer, of course, and yes, I like to think of myself as an entertainer too. But yeah, I mean, I'm just a guy who loves making videos. You know, a guy who's found his passion in life. That's what I am. You know, this is. You know, I've never had more fun in my life than I have these past 2+ years now. So I don't want to have that stop anytime soon. So I'm just going to keep on rolling on. You know, like I love doing these game reviews. It's just so much fun for me, and I really dig that so many people out there are really enjoying what I'm doing. So that's like the coolest feeling in the world. So yeah, I would say I'm somewhere in between.
So look, Matt, last question. If you had unlimited time, unlimited resources, as much money as you needed, what would you do with your show? Or would you even be doing your show? Would you make the best kick-ass review series on the internet? Or would you be more interested in sort of branching out and doing something different, and then maybe keeping the Cygnus Destroyer, LJN stuff always as a hobby? I guess I feel like there's a bit of crossover between people's YouTube shows and even their professional lives and careers, and where they want to take themselves and how to build themselves up. Like, I know personally my show and my website has actually made it onto my resume recently, and I've been getting some really awesome comments on the quality, the production quality, like the website design, and even just what I've managed to achieve in my spare time. But you know, there's always like this question: if you could do anything you wanted, would it be this, or like are there bigger sort of aspirations, you know, on YouTube and on this platform?
I would definitely still be doing these. Absolutely. It doesn't matter how much money I had. You know, I would. This is my favorite thing to do. So I would definitely continue to do the Cygnus videos and the Elden Defender, etc. I would probably maybe like it would be like a better version of the show, better as far as like you know effects or whatever. Not that I use that much, but like for example, the Friday the 13th one, like the battle with Jason, it probably would have been much more extravagant than I did it, you know, because of course now I'm, you know, don't really have a budget, and I'm limited by green screen space and whatnot. So that's why that's, you know, very simple, the fight that I had in that. So yeah, I would maybe do something a little more, like I said, extravagant, but not really though, because you know, I don't really do stuff like that, skits if you want to call them that, that often on the shows. So no, I'd probably do very much the same thing that I'm doing now. I can't really say that that would change. So yeah, I would just continue to do that, because I mean, hell, you know, the goal with this is that I would love to be able to do my shows for a living. So yeah, I would just continue to do this. So yeah, Cygnus Destroyer all the way. That's what I got to say about that.
So yeah, you talk about, you know, being passionate and enjoying what you're doing, trying to think a little bit outside the box, and also, you know, just having fun. And I think you tick all those boxes consistently with your collaboration videos, and that's something that I really enjoy about your videos as well. Personally, collaborating with other channels has been a great way to get a bigger audience as well. You know, if you're just starting out, try a collaboration, try and set something up, because you know, you can double the amount of people watching your video just through a couple of, you know, very easy to do collaborations, and you can meet some very cool people too. You know, I guess a great example is the video I did with Lonely Goomba. I just appeared at the very end. It was like a 15 seconds complaining about the video I just watched. But that seriously gave me my biggest boost of subscribers in such a long time. And I've really enjoyed collaborating with other channels. I've done stuff with Super Derek in the past. I've collaborated with a channel called Nice Pasta. And even Kev, the Retro Game Crusader, made me my very own Pixel Earthworm Jim. Pixel Earthworm Jim. And that was a very awesome collaboration. I seriously recommend checking out his stuff because his pixel art is freaking awesome. He did a very cool Majora's Mask for Glenn Plant as well. So yeah, collaborations have got to be one of the best aspects of doing videos on YouTube. So I seriously recommend, if you want to grow your channel, to check them out. Check out Matt's channel definitely if you haven't already, because he's agreed to collaborate with me on an update video. Like, that guy is a serious legend. And talking about updates, let's hit a couple of those, because I do have 3 videos I'm working on like right now. Collaboration again. The guy who did all my music in 2014 has actually agreed to score some of my episodes in 2015. So I've actually got an episode with him right now that I'm hoping he can add a really creepy soundtrack to. So that's a hint for the next video. I'm also working on 2 more videos before I take my little breather. I take one every year. One of them is another review, Atari Jaguar. So you guys are probably not going to be too interested. But the last thing that I'm working on is actually something I've been working on since about September, and it's 20 minutes long. So the biggest thing that I've ever done for the Leftover Culture review. Lots of games, action figures. I'll wait for you guys to actually see the finished product, but I'm super proud of this project, and I'd love to do a few more, but, you know, obviously your feedback is what, you know, drives the show. Like, I can do so much and refine so much, but if it's just not interesting to watch, you know, maybe it wasn't meant to be. But, you know, keep your eyes out. I'd love to hear your feedback. And look, I guess I'll finish off with a question, because I got one question that really struck a chord with me, and that was from Game Deficiency. They were asking about how I light the Leftover Culture review, and, you know, what goes into lighting an episode. And that's a question that really struck a chord with me as a creator, a content creator, because it's something that I wish I had a better grasp on when I started my show. Like, I always had desk lamps and stuff, and I always knew that lighting was important. But it wasn't until I actually started looking at what sort of options I had to light my show that I really felt like I could take it in a much more, like, the whole blue and red sort of 90s feel that I originally envisioned for the show. So yeah, but LED lights, like, these things have changed my production in so many ways. And this particular one was $30 off eBay. It runs off Sony rechargeable brick, or you can get AA batteries. They're super bright, but they're also dimmable. So depending on what you need, if you're lighting backgrounds, foregrounds, there's great light drop-off as well. So I'm talking about all these light characteristics you probably don't care about. But if I'm sitting far away enough from my background, I can sort of light me without sort of hitting the background. And that's really important to try and create a bit of a distinctive difference between lighting your subject and, you know, having light on the background. So I've got one of these LED lights sitting on top of the camera that's always just used to light my face and try and cut out some of that shadow. But then I'll use like one of these sitting in the background. And that helps, you know, just create that visual division. And look, the LED lights have just changed even how I film. Like, I've been able to do a lot more with my camera thanks to having these LED lights and being able to light certain parts of my scene specifically. So you know, I really wish someone told me about LED lights, or at least I researched them before thinking about new cameras or new computers or new editing software. The first thing, like top of the priority list, if I was a brand new show starting out, you know, I had my phone camera, the first thing I do is invest money in LED lights, because they've changed how I operate on such a big level, and they're so versatile. And if for a lot of shows that, you know, say I really love the production value, that's really heartwarming, because I spend, you know, the bulk of my time trying to light the shots. You know, actually setting up an interesting sort of dynamic and mood with the lighting takes up a big chunk of time. Like, I don't just sit down and hit record. There's a lot of prep work that goes in, but the LED lights have given me a lot more flexibility, and check them out. Like, you can't go wrong, seriously. I use a few other lights, but you know, first bit of advice for a new show, or for any show that's looking to just raise their production values a little bit from what they've got, but maybe don't want to invest in a new camera. Yeah, definitely the lighting. Even if you're using like an SD camera or your phone, the extra light will help you get the best quality possible out of your current recording device. They need as much light as they can get, so putting a bit more light on your subject, eliminating some of those shadows, it only means good things. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching my latest update video. It does really mean a lot. As always, leave some questions in the comments and I'll get back to them, or just let me know if these things are interesting. Like I said, I really want to keep evolving the show, and without your feedback, I don't want it to become stagnant. I'm having a lot of fun doing them, and look, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.